my name is Felix Beck, and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So things are reasonably kicking off in America. Listen, everything might be fine. I've said this on every one of the videos I've done, but everything might be fine. We seem to be on course for the absolute worst case scenario, which I'm going to describe in a minute. Before we do it, can you hit the like button? That'd be great. Hit that share button, hit that subscribe button. All these things are fan-dabby. Double dozy. Thank you very much. If you subscribe, of course, you can enter my my competitions. The prize this week is Judge Dredd, the complete case files, volume 10. Look at that. Never mind the quality, fill the width, but the quality is pretty darn good as well. Tons of great artists in this. Oh, first, it's written by John Wagner, Alan Grant, Mr. Judge Dredd. So you got Steve Dillon, you got Cliff Robertson, Barry Kitson, man, I haven't seen him for ages. Brendan McCarthy, Ian Gibson, Kevin O'Neill, Gary Lee, tons of great art. All you need to do to win this, is subscribe to the channel, subscribe, and in the comments leave the hashtag Zarja. Go check the video notes. It has everything you need to know to enter and win the competition. I've got a whole stack of stuff I need to send out that reminds me. So hopefully I'll get to that although we're going to lockdown again. Really? We're going to lockdown again tonight. Are the post office open? I don't know. Yeah. If you have any practical questions, you ask my wife. Is the post office open? That's when's the banking hours? If you want to know what's the right episode of Star Trek to watch with the right food, then you come to me. So the important questions you come to me. So fine. Also, if you're in the video notes, go check out this link to my Indiegogo. Add your email address to my sign-up list. I will. I'm really got to start wrapping this up very soon. I got to get the video done. I got to get all the tiers sorted out. But that's launching pretty darn soon. What else is launching pretty darn soon? Well, it could be the end of the world. Coming to an apocalypse near you. So listen, if you're new to my channel, I said I had a ton of growth recently. If you're new to my channel, I am a big-time Trumpster. I'll give you a little potted history of why they don't turn off who you are, because listen, if you're on the other side of the aisle to me, which firstly, thank you for listening, but think of me as like a doorway into an alternate reality, because we see things so fundamentally differently. But honestly, if you strongly disagree with me, come on my channel, and I think the best thing we can do, just as human beings in this time, which it seems to be getting crazy, is to have conversations with one another, have a friendly conversation where we might disagree. It's good for people who disagree to talk with each other. I had this guy on my live stream the other day who was like really upset that I was very strongly said, no, Captain Kirk is not bisexual, because Captain Kirk doesn't suck cock. Okay, that's just... I guess those two things I can't put together. However, this guy is I believe, a homosexual gentleman. At least that's what he was telling me. I'd never seen it. And, he was saying, listen, it's quite a big fantasy to have Captain Kirk sucking your cock. So, listen... If you're gay, I can see that, right? And by dogmatically saying that Captain Kirk isn't bi, you rob them of that fantasy. So I don't agree with his point of view, right? But I don't want to rob him of that fantasy either. So I think the détente we worked out is, don't make a Star Trek where you have a Captain Kirk that sucks cock, okay? Don't do that. That's bad, right? And we won't say Captain Kirk can't suck cock, and then we're all cool, right? You can keep your fantasy, and we can keep Captain Kirk, and we're all just cool people. So yeah, if you strongly disagree with me, get in contact, come to the channel, check the video notes. It's my contact information there. I think it's really important that we talk these things out, because I have some objective questions. So the title of the video, which I changed quite a few times, because as I said, my channel's blowing up. I don't want to piss off YouTube, so I got to appear to be more open-minded than I am, because I'm not open-minded. I'm a big-time Trumpster. So this is how that happened. Because I can hear people go, how can any sane, reasonable person support Trump? But here's the thing, and it's something that's been to my detriment. I like to make my own mind up about things, right? I don't like to be told what to think by other people, which is why you shouldn't be freaking listening to me. But I like to look at things myself, and my first-hand experiential knowledge I find the strongest, right? And so, when he first came on the scene, I thought, well, this is going to be hilarious. Look, I love The Apprentice. I think he's a fun character. I thought this is going to be hilarious. I thought it was going to be pretty much like the Alec Baldwin impersonation on Saturday Night Live, and to a lot of the campaign, he pretty much was. It was very. But then I saw like these bizarre like mistruths, I would call them lies, spoken, like saying that he made fun of this guy who's for his handicap, which is just, I saw it happen, and it just wasn't true. It wasn't true. There was a disingenuous grabbing of a screen grab to make things look like, but it really wasn't. Now I know this because I understand propaganda, because I work in propaganda. I'm a a web design, graphic design, advertising. I work in propaganda, so I understand how propaganda works and how they can how one can make you think you've seen something where you really haven't. And it's not hard. It's not hard. Let me tell you, you guys are easy to fool on pretty much everything. But it's all about making you feel like you've seen something. So and then for the another argument is that he's a massive racist, and they use that speech from Charlottesville which that speech was very clearly anti-white supremacy, anti-race. So I'm a big believer in looking at things for yourself and seeing how they are. And it seems to be the things he says. If you actually look at it in context and accurately, seem completely reasonable. Like, we should have border control, not open borders. That's probably better for people than work. Like, that doesn't seem racist to me. Again, if you're on the other side of the aisle, come and get in contact. I'll view this as a window into pure insanity, which much of the world is experiencing right now, along with me. So, I want to be very clear. As per YouTube's rules, I am not saying there was election fraud that swung this election for Joe Biden. I believe there was, but I have no knowledge of that. So that's the other thing. Again, if you're new to my channel, I got this thing. There's 3 ways you can know anything is real. You have faith, you have belief, and you have knowledge. Again, if you can think of any others, let me know. So, belief, knowledge is when you have first-hand, very strong experiential evidence of something. Belief is when you have circumstantial evidence of something, and faith is when you don't have anything of it, you just believe it anyway. Now, a lot of my insane prediction model with the Trumpster, the president, for another week or so, is based on a completely insane prediction model based around my crazy Bible-thumping religious, worldview, which is crazy and it shouldn't work, but up until now it's worked perfectly. I'm going to be talking about that in a minute, but right now I think we are dead on course for a worst-case scenario, but it's very easy to avoid it. Very easy to avoid it. So how do we have a peaceful transition of power right now? Right? It seems to be that there is, the country's at loggerheads, right? And you have. I think about 39% of the country who believes wholeheartedly this election was rigged. Was it? I don't know. I can't tell you with any certainty. This is what I can tell you. There are lots and lots of allegations. I mean, like crazy amounts of allegations of electoral fraud, which I think works against it to a certain extent, because there's so many different allegations. It seems just a swamp. Whoa! Yes, just a deluge of information. But I don't know if it's true or not. Here's the thing: I don't know if it's true or not. But I think there needs to be an immediate, and Biden, if he calls for this, who I'm not supportive of, I will have his back 120%, because this is what the right move, and this is the right move for a leader right now. Biden, I think Ted Cruz said it on the Senate floor yesterday, or the House floor, I don't know, said, that we need an immediate 10-day commission, which has apparently happened before. You get 5 members of the Supreme Court, 5 of the House, 5 of five senators have a independent audit of these allegations, which are in very specific. Now, if you're not unaware of the allegations, because what I found most really disturbing about this is the Stalin-esque sedition that it seems to be like coming out of the entirety of the media. It doesn't seem media and big tech media, including YouTube, which is sadly to say that you're not allowed to say that there was electoral, even though one doesn't know. I mean, I don't know, but what you would do to get the Trumpsters to back down. Speaking of somebody who is one, right? What you need to do is just address these allegations of electoral fraud, which are which I think 60 million Americans firmly believe happened. I think 38% of the country, which is 80% of the people who voted for Trump, and then I think 17% of Democrats and 34% of independents. That's a significant wedge. That is a significant wedge, and it's, I think, a quadruple-sized wedge that people thought there was. The last of the 2016 election was taken because of Russian interference, right? So, and there had to be an investigation, right? So that was going on. So yeah, but I don't think that can happen. I don't think that can happen. I think the reason that can't happen pretty much proves there was electoral fraud. I mean, if there was no electoral fraud, and you have a independent, transparent investigation, and again, it's not such a big deal. You have to do it. These are very, very specific counties, because one of the cornerstones for my belief is that. And I belief may or may not be true. In the 15th century, people believed the sun rotated the earth, right? Rather than the earth rotated the sun. Because they woke up in the morning and saw the sun there, went overhead, and every day. And when Galileo said, no, it's not like that, they were not very pleased with him, right? You know, so beliefs could be wrong. Beliefs could 100% be wrong. But, you know, we have the Democratic election playing out identically across the entire country, apart from 5 different counties, like 5, and those counties happen to be the most important swing states, in the country. So again, the allegations, as you may or may not know, there are something like 200,000 more votes than there are voters in Pennsylvania. How does that happen? How does that happen? Is it true? If it's not true, who's ever saying it should go to bloody jail, because there's a problem. But why is it? Did that happen? This should be an easily verifiable fact. There's like 80,000 extra votes in Wisconsin, I think. There were reports of, I think, tens of thousands of ballots being entered without Republican oversight, without there being people checking it. There was votes entered in secret. There's allegations of the vote count stopped because there was a burst water main, and then it turned out there was no burst water main. I don't know if any of this is true, and you don't know if any of this is true either, right? None of us, unless you were there, you don't know if it's true. But I think we need to know if this is true. And if we don't know if this is true, the status quo isn't going to change. So we are on a collision course for the worst case scenario. You know, I really was hoping it wasn't going to come to this. But before we get to that, we had the big protest in Washington yesterday, and there was one woman killed by police. I'm not sure why she was killed, and there's 3 other deaths as well. I don't know, but and the rank hypocrisy, just the rank hypocrisy pouring out of the media, pouring out of politicians, right? Is I just find it disgusting, because it was 4 or 5 months ago there was far worse domestic violence going on, right? Far worse doing it with BLM and Antifa, and finally nobody cared. It was all cool, baby. Everything was. In fact, what I wanted to do on the thumbnail is have a picture of President-elect Biden. See, YouTube, I'm using the right terminology. President-elect Biden going, come on, man. Come on, man. We don't give in to mob rule. And then next panel will be like, except, of course, BLM or Antifa. They're all cool, baby. Because, the rank hypocrisy is just disgusting. But again, if you're somebody who doesn't mind discussing, you're probably somebody who doesn't really mind there being, electoral fraud. So, what I think's going to happen is not good. It's not good. It's like, so what I thought was going to happen is this, and this gets into my crazy religious worldview, which again, I understand. I'm a bonkers Bible thumping weirdo. I get it. I've still been right up until now. So, I kind of still right here. What I thought was going to happen was there was going to be some kind of like miraculous overturning of this what appeared to be a fraudulent result, and that would have happened if the Democrats weren't massive. Not Democrats. The Democrats aren't pussies. The Republicans aren't massive pussies. See, here's the thing. And I found this out a year ago. Right? People would rather live in a corrupt status quo that they know to be illegitimate than to fight for truth, right? How did I find this out? On a much smaller scale, like my local synagogue. My local synagogue had a bit of a to-do. Our rabbi made a bunch of terrible decisions, right? And one was over across the line for me, and I said, "Listen, I got to speak out against you for this. If if you do this." And I was proved right about everything. I said, if you do this stupid idea, which you can't justify, then it's going to result in you're going to break the community, you're going to break the synagogue. And I was right. Now, because he did that, dozens and dozens of families left there, and now they're it's touch and go if they're going to survive, right? And this was much like everything, much like the comic book industry. It was increased by Corona, it was increased by COVID, but it was very obviously going to happen. It was very obviously going to happen. But here's the incredible thing: most people are like, yeah, we know it's wrong, but we don't want to fight. Right, we know it's wrong, but we don't, and I couldn't understand that. I have a good friend, like a genuinely good friend. One of the things I said, look, I have found no partner to resolve this within the infrastructure of the synagogue, right? I found nobody on the board, nobody, and he said, "What do you about? I was your partner." No. All the partners that presented themselves wanted me to shut up and not do anything, and I'm just not going to stand around when something intrinsically wrong is going down. And that's in my local thing. Oh boy, did it blow up. It went crazy. So I spoke out against the rabbi, and he lost it like I've never seen anybody lose it before. Like, he literally had I'm not exaggerating. He literally had a nervous breakdown, right? He had to go away for 2 weeks. He came this massive talk. I wasn't allowed in the same room as him. Oh, he just lost it. He lost it in every way, shape, and form. And now he's gone. Now he's gone because the shul can't afford him, and because they don't have enough money anymore, because he alienated half the bloody, half the bloody community. And the new administration in the synagogue saw that the synagogue isn't going to survive. It's not going to survive. Alienating half of its constituents. Same thing with America. Same thing with America. People don't want to fight. We saw this protest yesterday got violent, and we saw Republicans shit themselves. I can't deal with this. And it's the utter cowardice is beyond me, because Again, I don't know if the case they have is strong or not. It seems like it's airtight to me. I mean, how'd you have 200,000 more people voting than there are voters? It seems you might have stuffed the balance there a little bit, just a teensy bit, But either way, if that's not the case, if they didn't enter hundreds of thousands of ballots in middle of the night with nobody watching, that you can't verify. If they didn't, there's 8,000 ballots in Arizona from addresses that don't exist or fake. There's so. I think 16,000 dead people voted. That's more in Gettysburg, right? Which is more people that are buried in Gettysburg voted. So but again, all this might be bullcrap. I don't know. You don't know. None of us know. But if there was a fair and independent, some form of investigation, I mean, actually, even not fair and independent, if there was some form of investigation, but what's happening instead is saying, shut up! Don't look in the box. Don't look behind the curtain. No. That's not going to fly, mate. That's not going to fly. And what we saw yesterday, I think, again, puts us on a collision course for the worst case scenario, which is an actual civil war. Because, again, you got 60 million Americans who believe that the Democrats cheated, and they believe it, and I think they're ready to take arms to throw out their control. But the thing that really amazes me is the utter stupidity of the Republicans as well, because they don't understand that they're in a fight for their lives, because they're never, ever going to get power again. But I don't think that bothers a lot of them. As long as they keep their jobs, I don't think it matters if they're in power or where the country goes or what happens. I really don't think. So here's why, and the reasons why they're never going to be in power again. Firstly, if there was electoral fraud, and again, like you can't say there wasn't until there was an investigation. And again, the only reason I can think that's why they're to refuse an investigation is because there is obvious electoral fraud. And really, that's the only reason. If there was electoral fraud, the Republicans think, oh, it's a one-time thing because they hate Trump. No, it's not. No, it's not. If there was electoral fraud, it's going to carry on forever. And this is where you let it go, right? There is not a free and fair press. They've said repeatedly there is no evidence of electoral fraud. That's not the case. I don't know if this evidence is any good. I don't know if it's compelling. I really don't know. I really genuinely don't know. My belief is it is because they don't want anybody to talk about it, right? My belief is it is, but I don't know. Couldn't you? And again, you don't know. But there was, but this large section of the country that believes there was. I don't think it's going to work. So what normally happens is when you have a new authoritarian dictatorship to a great extent, and again, I think it's going to be interesting because we've never seen a media. Oh, we have, I guess, in Russia with Pravda, but a media. But again, in with Pravda, we just assumed everybody knew it was bullcrap. People out there still think CNN are honest, or MSNBC, or even Fox News. None of them are. Wouldn't trust any of them. Again, I only trust things I see and hear myself. So, so it just seems that we're actually headed to the only recourse is to take arms, and I hope it's wrong. So the reason why I think this is the most case scenario right now, I'm going to go into my insane prediction model. Right, this is completely insane. I want to be completely insane. So I'm a Bible thumper. Again, by the way, if anybody's an atheist there and want to go, how can a rational person believe in God? Come on my bloody channel again. If we're headed to civil war, I think we should be headed to civil discourse as well, right? If you disagree with me, any of this crap, come on board, have a conversation. I'm genuinely happy to talk to anyone. I really am. So again, I'm a big Bible thumper, right? So I believe a messianic period comes at the end of days, and I think we're there. So Jewish tradition said messianic period. Part of that messianic period is the we're getting into real weird law right now. Is the brothers Jacob and Esau, who have been estranged for millennia, unite and work together. So the brothers. So Jacob was Isaac's son, who was a grandson of Abraham. And Esau was his brother. So Esau, Esau went on to create several nations. A nation of Edom. Normally the bad guys. Normally the bad guys in the Bible, or in the Talmud, but. Is at the end of days these two nations are supposed to work together, and the way it's supposed to work together is Edom is the person, the one who is able to interact with the dirty, horrible world that the evil political machinations that the world has, and to a great extent we've seen America do that. America's support of Israel, I think, has been a fulfillment of that prophecy. I strongly believe that the Trumpster is the Messiah of the nation of Edom. Which it doesn't make him the Messiah, but Messiah of the nation of Edom. Esau, he was the only way. Again, this is something about biblical scholarship. You got to look in the original Hebrew and what words are actually said, because the Bible uses words incredibly sparingly, especially descriptives. So Esau's the only ways he was described as being big and red. Now, when they say red, they're talking about orange. There's a thing called a red cow that you need for specific religious rituals within the Jewish temple, which was destroyed 2,000 years ago. We think it's going to be rebuilt at some point in the Messianic age, right? So. So that red cow was actually bright orange. It didn't look like Clifford. It looked like it was orange. So basically, they called him the Orange Man, right? So I'm like, it does sound like him. So so it seemed to be a part of the messianic process of this, the American protection of Israel within the UN seems to be a fulfillment of that. And moreover, I think everything really breaks down to. how much you support and like traditional biblical values and how much you really hate them. If you like them, then you're more on the Trumpster side than against him, and if you don't, you're normally not. It's not universal, but reasonably true. Reasonably true. So this, I was very excited by that, because I figured, I'm a rabbi. I would like there be a messianic age come. That's supposed to be the good time. However, one thing I forgot. Many things I forget, but the one thing in particular I forgot. When they talk about the coming of the messianic times, you have all these sages in the Talmud and these 1,000 years old Jewish texts saying, I want to be, I want the messianic age to come, but I don't want to see it. Why do you not want to see it? Because it's going to be freaking terrifying. There are two ways the messianic era can come. One, if everybody's nice and good, and one, if everybody's not naughty, right? So, in terms of Jewish law, they're basically talking about majorities, right? In terms of majorities. So, I think it's pretty clear with that the biblical morality and secular morality came into crisis about 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I think with same-sex marriage. I think that's where the two things broke. And again, listen, I'm a Bible thumper. I should be against same-sex marriage because it's very strictly prohibited within the Bible, and also the etymology of the word is between a man and woman. But that's not the debate for right now. And honestly, I think it'd be horribly hypocritical for gay couples to not enjoy the same legal and financial rights as straight couples. My problem was calling it marriage. I didn't like the redefinition of words, and I think that was something that broke reality. I think that's something that broke reality. And when that happened, everybody said, "It's a slippery slope! It's a slippery slope!" And everybody was like, "No, don't be silly." And it was a slippery slope. Now, if a 4-year-old wants to say his penis is, not doesn't make him male, we can't argue with the 4-year-old. And we slid down that slope pretty darn quickly. You have things like people will call you a racist if you say, generally speaking, men don't menstruate. And we slid down that slope pretty darn quickly. So I think we're on the negative way of the messianic age coming. And when it's forced to come, when it gets so incredibly awful, so incredibly shitty, you get move ahead, then you go a step back. But it's going to come with strife. It's going to come with chaos. It seems to be that's where we're headed. It seems to be that's where we're headed. And it can be avoided right now. Just do an open investigation. There's 13 days till the inauguration. It can be done. But it won't be done. It won't be done because I believe it won't be done because it will change the result of the election, and then we'll probably be back in exactly the same spot, right? But I think that's what's got to happen. Without it happening, we are heading to the worst case scenario. So what does this mean for us? Well, I don't know. Listen, what does a civil war mean in terms of financial markets? I have no idea. It could destabilize the whole world. It could end Western civilization. I thought that about Corona as well, right? I thought that could happen. And thankfully I was wrong. But anyway, that's where we are. Once again, I want to say the invite is totally open. If you're somebody who is on the different side of the argument and wants to just talk this out. I think I'm a rational. I'm a reasonably rational guy, even though I say crazy things. I'm a rational guy that says crazy things. That's fair enough. A rational guy that says crazy things. Listen, you want to come on, and we'll have a conversation. My name is Felix Beck, and you're a rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.